Do you have a skincare mistake?
Yeah, I think
we destroyed our skin barrier with physical barriers, but we felt like the squeakier your skin was, the better.
How often should I exfoliate? And I'm just like, it depends on what the exfoliant is and what your skin type is and like what other products you're using.
Because we've done it up our skin, let's be honest, okay?
And nowadays, almost every brand has some sort of exfoliating product too, because of social media and the hype of exfoliation.
You overdo something and then the pendulum swings and then you underdo something. So it continues to try to always find that balance.
Do you have a skincare mistake?
Yeah, I think it's just overdoing it. I especially with exfoliation and using retinoids. And honestly, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like exfoliation wasn't really this hot of a topic until like social media made it to be. Obviously as dermatologists, we talk about this probably more relevant to our patients who are older, maybe struggling with hyperpigmentation, things like that. But then next thing you know on social media is like everybody, like teens are exfoliating when they don't need to. Yeah, when they don't need it, when they have the great skin. And then they're like using retinoids and stuff and they're overdoing it and they're getting really irritated. And so that's one thing is like less is more. I think certainly like there is a place for, I feel like, I'm a little extra, but I think I still make my skincare and recommend it to be intentional. But I think just overdoing it too much. And that is where we see the skin barrier damage. And so, I feel like that's a mistake I see over and over again. Yeah. And like a lot of people are not needing it, right? When they,
I feel like exfoliation really took off with social media to its detriment. I don't remember exfoliating when I was, I lied. We exfoliated very differently back then. We destroyed our skin barrier with physical barriers, but we felt like the squeakier your skin was, the better. And then it kind of dropped off. And I feel like that's how everything is in life. That's how it is with skincare trends. That's how it is with fashion. That's how it is with makeup, where you overdo something and then the pendulum swings and then you underdo something. So it continues to try to always find that balance. And I think for quite a while on social media, for at least 1 to 2 years, people were exfoliating out of their skin. Okay. I mean, they were destroying their skin barrier. And that's why now in 2025, we are seeing the trend of skin barrier repair. That's why every single brand is focusing on skin barrier repair, Centella Asiatica, ceramides, because we've done it up our skin. Let's be honest. Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, like, it's one of my biggest pet peeves because I don't even feel like the user is all to blame is when you look at some of the directions on some of these exfoliating products, it will even say to use it twice a day. And I'm like, wait, there's no way. Like I will tell my patients to use this once or twice a week, especially at least to start, and to not use it the same night as a retinoid. And so sometimes I kind of blame the packaging and the directions too. And so I think brands should also be very cautious with how they write their directions for exfoliation.
I agree.
And it's tough too, because some people maybe can tolerate it every day and some people can't. And one of the most common questions I get is, how often should I exfoliate? And I'm just like, it depends on what the exfoliant is and what your skin type is and like what other products you're using. For gentle exfoliants, you could potentially use it every day. Or kind of more hardcore, I would say usually like if it's an AHA that's like 10% or higher, once or twice a week. Usually not the same night as a retinoid, but I think it's once again person and brand dependent.
And that's like the kind of the fun part, but also the tricky part of skincare is like it's really nuanced, and we get a lot of questions obviously, and we try to help and answer them in a general way. But it really depends on that person, their skin type, what they're using, what other products they're using, right? But I would say even for me, like thinking about exfoliation, like the one before social media, like what I equate exfoliation is like professional chemical peels that usually patients would get done or at the esthetician office. And nowadays, almost every brand has some sort of exfoliating product too, because of social media and the hype of exfoliation. And now we're seeing that it's overdone, and now brands are coming up with barrier repair products. Just like Lindsay said,
they created the problem and now they're fixing the problem. But no, I think, Mamina, the question that you get, that we all get, is how often should I exfoliate, is one of the most loaded, most complicated question. It's not like how often should I wear sunscreen? every day, period. How often you exfoliate is, I mean, you really have to do a deep dive and self-reflection to figure that out, you know, because it
Go on a spiritual
depends
journey. Yes.
You really do. You really do. You have, like you said, first off, what's your skin type? Second, what other products are you using? Third, what type of exfoliation are you going to do? Are you going to do physical or chemical? If you're going to do chemical, are you going to use, a stronger one, a higher percentage? Are you targeting oil? Are you targeting texture? Are you going to do one that has a combination of things? Are you going to do a single one? I mean, it's like you could get a PhD on your thesis being how often should I exfoliate,
Yeah.
Totally.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, how often do you guys exfoliate? Let's hear from the experts.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm a good person to ask because I love skincare and trying skincare, but so I dabble with both like very gentle exfoliants and then some of the more strong exfoliants. But I would say that because I'm playing with these current gentle exfoliating peel pads from Neostrata, which I love.
Oh, I love
And those have like PHAs. So I don't know if PHAs count because they're like almost moisturizing in a way.
Yeah.
But those I can use every day. But so I'll use those potentially almost every day. And then once a week, maybe twice a week, I will do something stronger, something that's like a 10 to 15% glycolic acid.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you can definitely overdo it when you exfoliate. So I love the Dr. Dennis Gross pads. They really, really give my skin like the dewiest, glowiest look when I use them. But I have overdid it. I'm sure y'all have been there, but like I've given myself rip-roaring perioral dermatitis from just destroying my skin barrier. So I have to be careful now because I did that to myself. I also really like the Viral Polish Choice 2% BHA. Like that is viral for a reason. You just really have to be careful. If you're sensitive or you have dry skin, you don't want to be doing that once or twice a day like the bottle says. It's just not going to be good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I try to exfoliate. Oh my God, I would say try because honestly, the most consistent thing I do is topical retinoid every night. I was better about doing that skin cycling trend where I would do like a retinoid, Monday through Thursday or Friday, and then exfoliating once a week at most. That's for me. In summertime, maybe I may step it up to twice a week, but I don't actually use an exfoliant as regularly in the wintertime, especially. It's just also too like Mamina, like I have so many products and I do want to kind of try them too. But when you have so many, I think it's just, I know what exfoliants do and what they do for skin. So I rather kind of maybe save the room for other products to try because I also struggle from like acne and hyperpigmentation and work those into my routine. So I haven't been as good lately with using exfoliant regularly, like once or twice a week.
Okay, guys, I have a question. If you had to pick, which would you choose? Retinoid or exfoliation? You could only pick one for the rest of your life.
Retinoids all the way.
Yeah, retinoids for me too.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that is like the goat of everything. I mean, technically, I think retinoids are considered exfoliation. While I wouldn't like fully call it that, it can still technically exfoliate your skin by increasing cell turnover, but it just has so many other benefits for collagen building, helping with hyperpigmentation, acne. It kind of does it all,
I know.
Yeah. Glycolic acid and HAs can help with collagen, which is a nice little perk, but just not to the same degree, I don't think, as retinoids.